Mark. What were you thinking going into that last drive?
That we needed to be the reason there. It's kind of been our motto as an offense this year, and go out there and be the reason. I had a lot of belief in all the guys that were going in there. I'm proud of the way those guys competed to end that game. We put our team in a good position there, but obviously it just didn't turn out the way we wanted to.
Building off that, what was the call there on the 4th and goal? I mean, like 5 wide. Was it just your option to run?
Yeah, it was really just quarterback draw, 100% of the way through. Split everyone out wide, get 5 guys in the box. We have the best 5 linemen in the country. Go block their 5, and try to give a little bit of decoy signals out there to the other guys, and just made a play there.
You had to convert a couple of key 4th downs. The drive before that to set up the field goal, and then converting 4th down to score the touchdown. What is the mindset of the play of you guys in the huddle?
Yeah, when we kind of get into the huddle, all we kind of keep saying is one thing that we always talk about is tempo in and out of the huddle, running up to the line of scrimmage, always being ready for the next play. And on that one, we kind of just all got geared up, ready to go, know that it's kind of now or never, especially in that last drive, and we converted on the 2 that we needed to convert on.
Mark, I know it's hard to focus on some of the positives just with the way the game ended, but it seems like every time you guys need to make a play, I mean, you guys, the passing game looks like it took a step forward. You guys were able to kind of execute via the pass, I guess. What does that do, I guess, going into the final stretch of the season, knowing that, you guys can rely on the pass game to get some of those key plays they need?
Yeah, I wasn't happy about how I started out the game. I didn't start out my best. We needed to start out a little bit faster. Games like these are heartbreaking. You never get better at losing, I guess you can say. Been playing a lot of football, and it really sucks still. But we went out there and competed. It was good to see our pass game get into it a little bit. Obviously, there's a lot to learn from this game, and we still have more games to go the rest of the season. But Oregon was a fierce competitor out there. It was fun to play against them, but it was also really good to see us just kind of be able to be the reason in that game. Obviously, again, it didn't turn out the way we wanted to. It was a heartbreaking loss, but good to see some positives that we can continue to push forward through the rest of the season.
What do you feel like caused the slow start offensively?
To be honest, I couldn't give you an exact answer. Obviously, I got to get settled into the game a little bit. I got to get going. Just make the plays that are easy to make and just continue to make the makeables, I guess, is the biggest thing for me. As we progressed, I felt like we continued to get better as an offense, continue to improve throughout the game. But we just got to start faster like we have been in those previous weeks prior. But we obviously just didn't do that today.
It's a tough emotional loss. I mean, as a leader of this team, how do you keep this from affecting next week?
Yeah, just in that locker room, it was good to hear Coach. Coach just kind of said that has confidence in this team, and that we have a great team in that locker room. We've been playing a lot of close games this year. This one we weren't able to pull out, but we kind of kept telling everyone to keep their heads up, keep their heads high. We played a great game, and that's a top-ranked team in the country, and we got to continue to learn from it, continue to build off of it. And we still have 3 games to end of this season. We can still end this season on a high note. Obviously, again, it didn't turn out the way we wanted to, but we got to continue to have our heads high and learn from it tomorrow.
To kind of piggyback off that, everybody looks at you as leader of the team. Is it one of those things where you let every guy kind of go through the process of dealing with the way you guys lost and everything? And how do you, as a leader, how do you kind of pick and choose what to say and when to say it, if you can even say the right thing?
One thing just about the leadership aspect is before every game, I kind of go up to all the offensive linemen, I go up to all the leaders on this team, kind of tell them that I believe in them. Go out there and lead. Go be you. You ain't got to be anyone bigger than yourself. Just go be you. And even throughout that game, heading into the last drive, talking to the O-linemen, just saying one play at a time. You guys have been dominating all game. Just continue to lean on them. They're gonna break. They're gonna break. And and then when that game ends and it doesn't turn out the way you wanted to, sometimes you got to know when to step in, kind of like what you said, and able to step in with some of the offensive lines, step in with our offense, tell them to keep their heads up. But it's hard to sometimes go across the ball and talk to the defensive guys, but you got to continue to tell them that we have the confidence in them and that they got to keep their heads up. We still got more games to play, and you kind of have to pick and choose when you have to do that. And obviously there's some guys that I can do that to and talk to like the leaders on the defense, and they can kind of spread the word on that side of the ball.
Can you just kind of walk us through what you felt? I know it's a loss, felt in the moment you crossed the end zone, your team of you celebrated back in a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, it was an awesome atmosphere. The crowd was out there. The crowd was loud. It was great to see them staying out there in the rain. So happy to have them always being on our side. But I was overwhelmed with emotion there. It was such a good feeling, having the whole crowd behind me, have the whole team behind me. I really thought we won that game in that moment just because we have such a great defense. I have all the confidence in the world in them, and it was a really great feeling to have that. But again, it's a team game. It doesn't always turn out the way you want it to.
Mark, the two-point play or the attempt, obviously if you make it, you have overtime. Why didn't that click? How do you remember that play?
Yeah, so I mean, they run a certain defense when it's big downs, third downs, fourth downs, or 2-point plays down there where they kind of just set up a picket fence with the 7 guys on their defense and kind of play inside out. I started over to the field hoping that they weren't in that coverage, and obviously right when the snap happened, saw them kind of turn to it, had to go back to the other side of the field. Ended up getting to my third progression on that. Tried hitting Weege just right in the chest. He had a guy on his back, and then it ended up just hitting the guy's helmet, which obviously it sucks, but it was awesome to see that Kamari tried to make a play there at the end. It doesn't always sometimes turn out how you expect it to. Obviously, he stepped out of bounds, but we were trying to hit Weege right on the front line.
See your offense make strides as the game was continuing to progress. You guys just kept coming, and eventually it clicked. What encourages you about that moving forward?
Yeah, and I think it has to do with our offensive line and just how tough and physical and I guess together that they play. And, it takes time throughout a game to continue to wear out on the defense. And I feel like our offensive line continued to do that. And it was great to see, our first drive in the second half. Obviously, it ended in a fumble, but we got all the way down to the 14-yard line. The next drive, we get a field goal. The next drive, I think we only had 3 drives in the second half, if I'm wrong. But, again, we finished with a touchdown. So it's good to see that moving forward. Good to have that confidence as an offense, but we got to get that started at the beginning of the game as well.
How do you deal with the elements?
It sucks. It doesn't always help you in the ways that you want it to, but for me, there's different ways that I can, I hold the ball a little bit differently. It's just trying to not squeeze it as hard so it slips out of my hands. But I thought the refs and the ball boys, I guess, did a good job at continuing to transfer the balls in and out. But in the second half, when the rain kind of subsided, it was feeling pretty good out there.
Now a couple of losses to the top 10 teams. What have you guys learned about yourselves in these losses, maybe this week that was different from that Indiana loss? Yeah,
obviously in that Indiana loss, I got hurt at the end of that game, so I wasn't able to finish that one, which sucks. But and even in this one we were able to finish, had the lead at the end of the game and didn't come through with it again. But we got to continue to push forward, and part of that is having faster starts. And I felt like we did that the past 3 weeks, and then obviously coming into this game, we didn't have that. And both games that we ended up losing, we kind of had a slow starts in there. So either they're just kind of having the I don't know what it is, but we kind of have to go talk about it. That's what kind of meetings are going to be for tomorrow. But we got to continue to learn from it, and we're going to watch the film and dial in for this next week.
That last drive that allowed them to work their way down the field from what you saw.
They made some plays out there. Their quarterback threw a couple of good balls. They were moving the ball offensively. We had a couple miscues, but we had a chance out there. But ultimately, it just didn't go our way.
What's Phil's message going into that drive?
Someone has to step up and make a play. It was down to us defensively. We like being in that position, but at the end of the day, we just didn't get the job done.
What was working so well for their run game against you guys tonight? Was there something specific that stood out, or was it just the accumulation of it all for them?
I feel like they did a lot of good things. We had a lot of missed tackles. That was a key to their offensive success. Just basic things that we got to work on. We got to clean up moving forward. But I think we did a lot of good things out there as well. Just we were able to make some plays, but we got to keep going and keep making more.
What were you guys expecting on that last drive from Oregon's offense?
They had 3 timeouts. They had a minute 50 on the clock. They really do whatever they wanted. They're down 1 point, but we're just trying to stop the run. They ended up throwing the ball. They made a couple plays. But at the end of the day, we had a chance at the end. We ended up making the field goal, but we had the opportunity to go out there and win the game. It just didn't happen.
How are you doing physically? You came out. I don't even think you missed the play, but it looked like you got how are are you?
I'm good. It was the play. I got kicked in the throat. I was coughing up a little blood, but just want to get back out there with the guys, trying to give them all.
How do you guys feel like you're going to be able to process and respond? There's so much build up to this game.
Yeah, obviously it's going to suck, but we got tomorrow to let it suck, watch the tape, learn from some things, and then Monday we got to turn the page, get ready for USC. That'll be another big game, so we got to be excited for the opportunity and keep going out there and competing.
What kind of emotions are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. You work so hard for games like that, right? November football, you bring in a top 10 team. It's tough and it hurts, man. But all you can do is respond and get back on the horse. Yeah.
How confident do you feel after that Gronowski touchdown that you thought you guys might have it?
Yeah, I thought we had it in the bag. But it's football. They're a really good offense, really good team, and they put together a good drive there at the end of the game. And there's things we could have done better throughout the whole game. And it wasn't just that one drive. That's the reason why we lost. It's not. There are many other things we could have done better to win that football game. But credit to them, they're a really good football team.
How did this team find a way to respond? I mean, you were down 9-0, I think, there in the first quarter or second quarter. So what did you guys do to really rally in this game and come back and get a chance to win?
Yeah, I feel like we're at our best when adversity strikes. You really got to band together, and I think that's exactly what this team does. I don't think I've ever been on a team that's been so together as this team, and I feel confident every time we step out on the field. We got a chance to win against really good teams, and we've shown that this year, honestly. And it's tough being able to finish those games against really good teams, but I think we've shown that we can play with anybody in the country. When we're doing our stuff, it just comes down to the finer details and finishing games. But I mean, I love this team with all my heart, man. It's been so fun to play with these guys, and just we got 3 more games in the regular season, so see what we can do there.
Even though it didn't end up being a winning drive, just tell me about that 93-yard drive that you came down and just this offense, putting a drive together that put you guys in a position to win.
Yeah. We talk about being the reason, and we had a bunch of guys making plays that drive. You had DJ, you had Reese, you had Mark, a whole bunch of dudes just making plays out there and stepping up in big moments when we needed it the most on that long drive. And you live for moments like that, and that was a great drive by everybody, just playing Iowa football and offensively just doing things together. That just shows the things we can do when we're on our stuff against a really good team, right? So yeah, that just gives us confidence moving forward that we really can move the ball whenever we want offensively, and that's a good sign.
What was Mark's message going into that drive? Did he say anything in the huddle?
Yeah, just his thing was attack, and I thought that's exactly what we did. Things weren't always going to be perfect. We got put in some tough situations. They got us a few times, but how you respond is the biggest thing. And just staying on the attack was his message to all of us. And I thought we did that the entire game. Things were ugly, just stay on the attack. Things are going to break, figure it out. And I thought we had a bunch of dudes just making plays, going out there playing hard and playing for each other, which is just the biggest thing.
What did Coach tell you guys after the game?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you lose a game like that, it sucks. That's a really good football team, and you can't make it any better. It's going to suck today. It's going to suck tomorrow. But when we come back to work on Monday, how you respond is the biggest thing, and that's kind of his message and what we're going to take moving forward.
I like taking big kicks, and just to know that Coach still has the confidence after what happened at Penn State, it's really good.
Drew, did you know when you took the field that you would that was a record kick?
No, I didn't know that. I don't know how far it was, like down to the tee. I knew it was far. Obviously, looking at the uprights, it was pretty. But I mean, I remember my sophomore year playing Michigan State, Jonathan Kim. I remember he hit like a 58 or something, or like a long field goal. I didn't know exactly, but. No, that's not the mentality when I go out there. I'm just trying to make every kick,
What are the emotions like in the locker room, going back there after a game like this?
I mean, it's what you imagine. I mean, it's a heartbreaking loss. I really wish that we could go out there and do things differently, but, sometimes it just happens, Like, we weren't good enough today collectively as a team, obviously. I'm sure there's things that we could do, whether we won or lost this game, that could make us better as a team. So, yeah, it's just disappointing.
How tough was it for special teams out there? We saw some snaps go around the punt squad. So was it just the wetness that really caused some problems today?
You know, I mean, I'm not really sure, like, at this very moment to, like, speak on something like that because, I mean, that's usually what we do on Sundays is we go in and we do learn from the game to see, like, hey, what happened here, because when you're in the game, you gotta do your own job, you know. So I don't really try to talk too much in terms of things like that with the guys. It's always just words of encouragement because, you know, I mean, if a guy does mess up, he knows he messed up, you know. There's no need in keep harping on it, you know.
The last seconds of the game. I mean, does that kind of rip at you though?
100%, man. It hurts. It hurts. When you go out there, you invest as much as we do, man. It hurts when you don't come out victorious. But salute to Oregon. That was a great team. We competed our butts off, and that's all you can ask for. That just shows a lot about our team. You know, we never quit. That's just what we live by. So each week we know it's a 60-minute game, and we're gonna play our butts off to the final whistle. So unfortunately, it didn't go the way that we wanted to, but I'm just proud of my boys. I'm happy for them. You know, we all competed. We gave our all. You know, so I'm just excited about that. But yeah, man, it definitely hurts.
Is there something differently that you guys wish you could have done on that last drive?
I mean, we'll see that on tomorrow. We'll look at the film tomorrow and see what we can do better. Of course, there's a lot of things. It's never a perfect game. There's always going to be things you can do better. So we will look at that tomorrow and correct those things.
What was Kirk's message in the locker room? Just you know, there's really no right thing to say in a situation like this, but what do you kind of say to you guys in the locker room?
I mean, we competed our butts off, and that's just what we got to continue to do. You take a tough loss like that, you can't sit around and pout for too long. We got to get back to work at the end of the day. So, yeah, man, he was just proud of us for the way we competed. We show up each and every week, busting our butts off. So, yeah, man, it's a tough loss, but that's not going to change anything about how we play. We still going to, you know, correct the Bulls on Sunday and work very hard next week.
Drive and give your team a chance. How awesome was that for your offense?
It felt really good just to be able to be trusted with that type situation. Yeah, I wish I could have stayed up, kept running, but it was nice to get some good yards.
Can you tell me about what it feels like to have your first Hawkeye touchdown?
Oh, it felt really good.
These last two losses were heartbreaking, of course, but the way you guys responded has been really strong. Why can it be the same this time around after this third one?
Just the leadership that the team has. I mean, we're all such a tight bunch group, and just to be able to keep coming to practice each and every week, next game mentality, and just keep focusing, keep fighting, and keep improving every single day.
I guess what were some of those offensive struggles kind of early in the game that you guys were facing?
I think it was just getting in the flow of things, managing the weather. But I feel like we fought really hard the whole time. Proud of the way we fought.
Can you talk about the big catch that you had?
It was just pretty much a seam route. Safety just didn't see me and just got right behind him and marked through a good ball and kept running.
You guys went ahead. Did you feel then that you had the game?
I mean, we knew there was plenty of time left. They have a really tough, incredible offense, very athletic, and it's just a little unfortunate. Defense, I mean, they played their balls off, really. It just sucks to come up short.
Toughest defeat of the season?
All losses are tough. I mean, can't really. This one definitely stings, though.
Tight end group seemed to get more involved today. Was that kind of part of the game plan?
Yeah, I'd say pretty much just each and every week. Just whenever we get our opportunity, we just want to cash in. Whether it be one time, whether it be 10 times, no matter how many times we get a chance, we just want to cash in.